Welcome back to Xbox Corner, my name's Luke, and welcome to March and another week for Xbox Game Pass, where today I'm going to be running you through our first batch of titles for the month, and again it's a reasonably decent selection. Now if you haven't taken a look at our monthly Leaving Game Pass video, then I recommend doing so, as unfortunately we're also losing a few decent games this week, and I'll leave that linked down below. For now though, hit that like button, subscribe for weekly deals, reviews, Game Pass roundups and graphical comparison videos, and let's get into it. So kicking things off today, as usual, we've got a couple of announcements, and first off we have one for all you budding aviators who will now be on Cloud 9, as you're able to soar through the clouds whilst playing on the cloud. That is to say, Microsoft Flight Simulator is now available on the cloud, so you're now able to play it on the go using your smart weapon of choice, or without having its humongous file size holding your hard drive to ransom. Now our second announcement involves a game that at this point seems to feature weekly in these lists, as after a number of delays, Lawn Mowing Simulator is finally going to be available to Xbox One players come the 10th of March, so if you've been itching to hop aboard your mower of choice and murder some grass, then you'll soon be able to do so. So our first actual new addition of the month is the day one release of Far Changing Tides, and this one is an action-adventure game and sequel to 2018's Far Lone Sails, whose atmospheric gameplay sees you following a young boy and his journey across a desolate and flooded planet which is frequently battered by stormy weather and high seas. Now I never actually played the first game, but this one definitely gives me Waterworld vibes, which despite being a commercial disaster I actually kind of liked. The game though features a combination of exploration as you traverse the ruins of a once great society, searching the remains for signs of life, and the unique seafaring vessel that you pilot is also able to transform into a sub, allowing you to explore the depths for anything which might help you on your mission. There are plenty of environmental dangers and puzzles to overcome with this one though, and it promises an emotional journey, so if you're looking for a more story-driven experience with a slow and deliberate gameplay pace, then Far Changing Tides might just be the game for you. Heading to the other end of the spectrum now then, next up we have Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and you've likely heard about how much of a disappointment its predecessor was, which having never played I can't personally comment on, but this one looks to remedy its shortcomings and certainly looks to have fared better in terms of ratings. Now of course, if you're a fan of the MCU, you'll no doubt have heard of Star-Lord and his escapades in space alongside his motley crew of misfits, and this game certainly aims to capture the same high-paced, humour-filled tempo of the movies. Putting a fresh take on the story then, this one is a third-person adventure game in which you once again have to save the galaxy from impending doom, and alongside an all-star 80s mixtape you can expect plenty of high-octane combat, a bunch of different abilities to unlock, and a story which by almost all accounts sounds like it kicks ass with equal levels of awesomeness and hilarity. If you were disappointed by Marvel Avengers though, then this may be the second chance that you've been looking for. Young Souls is the title of our next game, and this is another day one release for the platform which combines 2D brawling with the story-driven elements of an action RPG. Following the adventures of orphans Jen and Tristan, the game sees you seeking the whereabouts of your would-be foster father and all-round mysterious scientist bloke, and your journey takes you through a strange portal into a dangerous parallel dimension ruled by ruthless goblins. Hopping back and forth between the human and goblin worlds seems to be the flavour of this game though, and along the way there are plenty of different abilities for you to mix and match through the equipping of hundreds of different items, and if like me you're a big fan of beat 'em ups, then this one will no doubt be your bag. The game offers 20 different bosses to beat and plenty of goblin bashing action, and it appears to be a great option if you're looking for a co-op game to blitz through alongside a friend, though I believe at the moment it only offers local co-op, so no online play with this one. It's also sporting a great visual style, and it looks set to be a promising little title from developer 1P2P Studio. Our penultimate game this week comes a couple of short months after its previous entry hit Game Pass, as the third and final chapter in the Final Fantasy XIII saga is added to Game Pass with Lightning Returns. Following on from 13.2, we once more return to the story of Lightning, the first game's main protagonist, though this one's set 500 years after the previous ending, where Lightning awakes from her self-imposed hibernation 13 days before the world is due to end, and in a likely turn of events, she's then chosen to save its population from their impending doom. Now, as I've previously said, despite my love for the Final Fantasy games, I really didn't get on with the mechanics in the first FF13 and so never played the rest of them. This final outing, however, features significantly different gameplay systems, including a revamped battle system and a large range of weapons and outfits which modify both your appearance and abilities, but the most significant change comes in the actual format of the game, as you now have a time limit imposed on you with which to complete all of its objectives. Should you fail to do so and run out of time, then unfortunately the apocalypse will occur and it's actually game over, but you're then given the option to start over from the beginning of the game, carrying over all of your stats, abilities, equipment and gear, and I have to say that this new game format has me pretty intrigued, and I may actually have to give the game a go at some point if I ever find the time to do so. So last on our list today, but certainly not least, we have Kentucky Route Zero, and this one comes to us from Annapurna Interactive, who have a knack for cherry picking the weird and wonderful, and Kentucky Route Zero is certainly no exception. Taking place over 5 separate acts, Kentucky Route Zero follows a delivery man on a journey along a secret highway beneath Kentucky, and along the way he's joined by an unusual cast of characters, each with their own stories to tell, but it's the delivery of the game's narrative where the real magic lies here, as it persistently finds new and unconventional ways of spinning its tale. Now, so far as genre goes, you'd be hard pushed to really pigeonhole it into one, but it perhaps sits most comfortably within the point-and-click adventure genre. Much like Disco Elysium though, Kentucky Route Zero is heavily focused around its narrative as opposed to presenting you with puzzles to solve, and believe me when I say that there is a lot of text to read in this one, but it's well worth experiencing, especially if you enjoy a little bit of strangeness to your stories, and if you were down with Disco's dialogue, then Kentucky Route Zero might just be right up your street. And so that about wraps it up for this week's lineup of Game Pass offerings. So did anything in our list tickle your fancy? Perhaps you're up for a bit of Galaxy Guarding with Groot & Co, or maybe you wanted to bash some goblins or save the world one final time. Let us know down in the comments section below. Don't forget to check out that Leaving Game Pass video to find out what you still have time to play, and as always hit that like button if you enjoy our content, and don't forget to subscribe for weekly deals, reviews, Game Pass coverage and more. For now though, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks everyone, take care.